All right. So, hi everyone. Very good evening to all of you. I hope everyone is good. So, this is another session of daily PIB where we try to decode news. Where we try to decode news of every day, as in whichever news is present in the PIB, we try to decode that, right? Now, this particular news, when I talk about the 20th part here, 20th of November 2025, we're going to start with something which specifically talks about E-Jagriti platform, right? I'll tell you what is E-Jagriti platform. Hi Shivam, Radhe Radhe. When I talk about E-Jagriti platform, it is specifically from the perspective of who? That is, from the perspective of grievance redressal mechanism, right? You people could have heard about it a lot many times when it comes on to, grievance redressal mechanism. This is one of the platforms where you can freely go, you can complain, you can find your complaint there against maybe any of the, that is specifically related to consumers here. If you have any of the complaint related to product, maybe your services, you can go here and you can file your complaint. Of course, instant solution is going to be given to you, and this is what has been claimed by the policymakers itself. Hi Shraddha, very good evening. Next news says that Government of India has given approval to 7 of the projects here, and that too, something which is related to ECMS itself. I'll tell you what is that. Basically, it is related to something which is going to give boost to electronic sector, right? Along with the help of PLI, I'll tell you how this system is actually working, right? Next news says that GI tag has been given to Gujarat's Ambaji white marble. And when I talk about GI tag here, you people know that what is the significance of GI tag, right? GI tag as in that a specialty has been given, or maybe special, product of that particular state, right? If there is any specific state, if we are giving any, product of that particular state GI tag, it means that becomes the king and maybe queen of that particular state here, right? So this is what is the significance. You can entirely relate it from that particular perspective also. When I talk about being king and maybe queen here, so that specifically means कि हाँ, जो particular area है वो उसी के नाम से जाना जाएगा, ठीक है? So from this perspective, it is actually very important. Next news says 8th India UK Army exercise, that is Ajeya Warrior, commencement has taken place. And of course, I know that when it comes on to defense sector, you people could have seen this time also that अभी RBI phase 1 में जो ज़्यादा questions है वो defense sector से भी पूछे गए हैं. That is the reason I've taken it here. There are actually high chances a question can be asked in that, right? Phase 2 में तो जो perspective defense से related है वहाँ पे questions नहीं पूछे जाते हैं, but हाँ, if you're the one who's preparing for regulatory bodies, if you're the one who's preparing for banking exam, so yes, जो यहाँ पे इस particular जो question है ना, जो defense exercises होती हैं, generally इसमें से questions पूछे जाते हैं, ठीक है? Last news is that South Indian Bank launches SIB HER account for women here, right? And I've taken this as news, just like I've taken it here, right? I wanted to tell you people, सबसे पहले तो you just try to understand, this is important from phase 1 perspective. Direct question can be asked on it, right? Along with that, अगर आपको phase 2 में women empowerment के related कोई भी question पूछा जाएगा ना, women empowerment के related कोई भी question पूछा जाएगा, so yes, from that aspect, it actually becomes very important, okay? You people can mention this as an example there, that see, साउथ इंडियन जो बैंक्स हैं वो भी इन सब चीजों के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, है ना? हर अकाउंट फॉर विमेन हैज बीन ओपन. What are the special features associated with that? So a question related to can be asked in the paper also, right? Specifically important from the phase 1 perspective. Again telling you, direct question जो है phase 1 में आएगा. Indirectly, you people can mention it as an example in phase 2 also, ठीक है? So this is how it is actually very important. So कितना news हुआ? हमारा 5 news हुआ, जो कि हमारे examination perspective से बहुत important है. At last we'll try to solve questions together, ठीक है? This is the link of my Telegram channel, which is Economy with Payal. If anyone here who wants to join the channel, the one can join it. This is Economy with Payal, and this is the scanner as well. All right. The first news, that is digital redressal initiative E-Jagriti platform, right? I've told you already that when it comes on to E-Jagriti platform, this is nothing, but this is one of the initiative which is being taken by the Government of India, specifically to solve many disputes of customers, right? Many time this happens कि हो सकता है कस्टमर को कभी किसी प्रोडक्ट के रिलेटेड कुछ भी डाउट हो या कुछ भी कंप्लेंट हो सकता है किसी सर्विसेज के रिलेटेड कोई भी कंप्लेंट हो, राइट? सो पीपल कैन इजीली गो ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर प्लेटफॉर्म एज ए न्यूली डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म which is specifically organized as in this is specifically launched by the Government of India. एंड दिस इज लॉन्च फॉर दिस पर्सपेक्टिव ओनली कि आपको ईजियर एक्सेस मिले, किसको, कस्टमर्स को, कि आप कंप्लेंट फाइल जो है वो कर सके, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपको अमेजोन से आपने कोई प्रोडक्ट जो है वो आपने ऑर्डर करा एंड यू पीपल आर नॉट एट ऑल, मे बी द प्रोडक्ट दैट द प्रोडक्ट दैट यू एग्जैक्टली ऑर्डर्ड, that exact order has not been given to you, right? And when you are actually trying to return it, they are not actually accepting that. Why? Because the product is basically not similar, right? So where to go? You do not have any phone number to call there, right? They are actually not receiving your messages as well. If you try to call the customer care, they are actually not giving you best of the results also, so they are not at all in favor of you. So you can go here. E-Jagriti platform is for us only. We can go here and we can file complaint against that particular individual, right? You can clearly see on your screen here when I talk about the E-Jagriti platform, this is nothing but a single unified website hai, portal hai, where customers in India can file complaint against any company, seller, and they can also track its progress as well, right? If I have filed a complaint against that particular individual, where is the process, has the process begun, or what is the stage as in where it has reached, right? So these are the things which can be simplified here. Purpose is exactly very clear here, because many a times when it comes on to customers now, of course each and every person should be taken into consideration. Of course persons and specifically consumers, customers are exactly very important, right? They make the economy, they're actually very integral part of our economy here. So we have to ensure that we are giving them solutions. So take into consideration filing, tracking of that, right? Maybe getting a decision done as well, and that too very fast in a manner. The process should be actually very transparent in a manner, and genuine decision making should be also taken into consideration. So for getting genuine results here, we are having this particular platform, which is E-Jagriti platform only, right? So whatever we are going to discuss here is the entire information about this E-Jagriti platform itself. Now I have told you that this is specifically written on your screen itself. This is the unified digital platform, and that is of whom? That is Department of Consumers Affairs. मिनिस्ट्री कौन सी इसके साथ एसोसिएटेड है? दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स अफेयर, food and public distribution as well. The launch date is specifically 1st January 2025, and you can see that how many cases have been registered till now. It includes 2.75 lakh itself, right? Along with that, total cases which have been handled, this includes 1.30 lakh as of November 2025, and this is the success of E-Jagriti portal, right? So whenever, like, this is not at all from the perspective of question itself, but आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए कि customer के dispute solve करने के लिए basically what we have, right? Because we all are customers, right? And whenever our interest is hampered, whenever we get a wrong product, or if the services are not correctly provided to us by any of a specific company, we need to take corrective measures against that as well, right? This should happen actually. So yes, this is the platform specifically made by the government for us only, right? What is the purpose? I've told you, filing of the customers' complaints, tracking the entire process, just assessing the judgments online as well, strengthening the consumer disputes also, and computerization, networking of customer commissions as well, right? This actually ensures that whatever decision making is going to be na, that is actually very transparent in manner also. ठीक है, उसके बाद ये सारे जो aspects it is associated with that I've already told you. The main part is what? That is numbers itself. Firstly we'll talk about numbers, and then only I'll talk about the other part as well, right? This is specifically about the NRI participants. So OTP based login है, that has been enabled for NRI access here. ठीक है, जो total NRI users है, कितने users है? That includes 1388. Services which have been provided for NRIs here includes complaint filing, digital payouts, like payments here, virtual hearings, real-time tracking, and no physical presence is required here. So this is a kind of very holistic services which is actually getting provided by the government here. You can see on your screen, it completely says that I have made these benefits special. This is actually a special benefit, right? For those Indians who are sitting abroad, right? They are all the residents. Now, when I talk about the NRIs here, that it includes residents, plus it includes non-residents as well, right? So it includes both of them. Why this is a highlighted portion? Because this is specifically very special feature of E-Jagriti here. This completely says that although most of the portals are there, most of the websites are there who are including residents, yes, but this is the one which is including non-residents also, right? So those Indians maybe who are living outside of India and can also use it very easily, right? This is what is the news here. So NRI features I've already told you, एक feature जो है वो OTP का भी है यहाँ पे, ठीक है. उसके साथ साथ benefits जैसे मैंने आपको बताया digital payment का है, virtual hearing का है, tracking of the case है, ठीक है. और this says this also that there is no availability, like अगर मैं यहाँ पे top complaints की बात कर रहा हूँ, so I'll tell you in the coming slides, basically USA हो गया, UK हो गया, UAE हो गया, ये सारे जो like these are the areas from where you are actually going to see that there are high in cases, right? जो maximum cases है, these are from these three areas itself, right? Now here when I talk about the several features of it, so yes, you always need to remember this is actually very multilingual in nature. Chatbot भी यहाँ पे available करवाया गया है, right? We are having this chatbot available as well. Just wait a minute, let me see where it is. Chatbot assistance has been given to us. Voice to text support is also given to us. End-to-end encryption it includes. Virtual hearings are taken into consideration, and digital document exchange is also part of it, right? So this is the success of this. I've already told you USA ho gaya, UK and UAE. These are the top 3 countries who are having access, maximum access of E-Jagriti portal. Now talking about from the India's perspective, so maximum cases have been seen from the areas of Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra also. They can ask you, right? Generally, we have seen that such questions are getting asked. So they can ask you then when it comes on to E-Jagriti portal, na, which areas are the one who are having maximum coverage, or which areas are the one, which state is the one who have given, या फिर from where we have seen maximum cases here, right? So यहाँ पे जो maximum cases है वो गुजरात से है. Second tops, when I talk about the top 2 here, that is Uttar Pradesh. Top 3 कौन सा है? That is Maharashtra here, right? So I want you people to have a full clarity on it, right? This is the one which is exactly very important from the examination perspective. Platform का name क्या है? That is E-Jagriti. I've already told you consumers affair is associated with it. Registered users kitne hain? That includes 2.75 lakh, and NRI users includes 1388. What are the top 10 countries here? USA is the one, UK is the one, and UAE is the one, right? And when I talk about the our country's perspective here, so सबसे ज़्यादा cases जो है वो गुजरात से है, followed by UK, UP as well, right? So this is Gujarat, UP and Maharashtra also. You people need to remember this. All right. Next question, like next news is specifically about the Government of India approves 17 projects under ECMS second tranche 7,000 of worth 7,172 crore has been initiated here, right? So this is the entire perspective of it. I tell you that when I talk about the electronics component manufacturing scheme, always remember electronics component manufacturing scheme क्या है? Let's bifurcate it further, ठीक है? Electronics component manufacturing scheme. It means I'm here not talking about the entire electronics, but it specifically focuses on something which is electronic के components, ठीक है? For example, we are making one heater for say, yeah. Okay, let's forget heater. Let's include mobile only. For example, I have to prepare one mobile in India, right? Now, mobile is not just mobile, right? Of course, whatever we see from outside is not the case, right? Of course, it includes inside components also, right? So inside it, there are actually a lot of components. Now, what is the situation? Like, even if you see the recent EV, like specifically when I talk about the Maruti Suzuki here, the first, indigenous EV that we have made, we had an argument from many of the economists here that although we argue that now India is having its first EV, fully indigenous EV, but it is not like make in India, but this is more like compiling in India, right? Compiling in India means what? Okay, when we are making one product, it includes many further components also, right? It actually includes a lot of components. After compiling them, one outside or maybe one broader thing or maybe electronic device is made, right? So I gave you an example of mobile phone. I gave you a recent example of EV also. Take a recent fully indigenous EV that we have made recently. Okay. Now, when I talk about this particular, initiative here, that is electronics component manufacturing scheme, always remember, India says कि हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? हमारे इंडिया में ही जो components हैं ना उनकी availability करवानी पड़ेगी. Otherwise, what is the fun of making in India, right? When we are compiling material from outside the world, and when we are just compiling it here only, right? When we are demanding, when we are, inviting these components, many components from outside the world, and when we are compiling in India, and then we are giving it a name that is, make in India, that is actually wrong, right? we have to ensure that whatever components are even required to make that particular mobile phone, that should be also made in India itself, right? That is what is the requirement here. Now, this completely says to encourage both maybe Indians and maybe international companies also to come and start producing these components, right? Set up your factories, right? Start producing these components, electronic components, critical electronic components in India only, right? We have to invite them ताकि हमें बाहर से सामान ना लाना पड़े, बट इंडिया के अंदर हर एक चीज की अवेलेबिलिटी हो, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट. इट इज एक्चुअली क्लियरली रिटन ऑन योर स्क्रीन, राइट? Now, if you people remember, many a times I've talked about something which is specifically about what? That is specifically about PLI initiative, right? I've told you many a times about the PLI initiative. Basically, PLI initiative is what? That is production linked incentive scheme, right? So when I say that, India is specifically inviting many people to come here and start producing in India, right? What to produce? Components, electronic जो components है, उनकी manufacturing start करो. Set up your factories here. We are actually inviting Indian companies, international companies also to come in India and start your manufacturing here, basically associated with electronics components, right? Now, this completely says, if we are inviting them, right? For example, I invite maybe Shivam and Shraddha, at my home, right? I call and, maybe I, invite both of these individuals here at my home. So I have to treat them very perfectly also, right? I have to treat them in such a way that they actually feel comfortable here, right? They actually feel very lovable here. They actually feel, respectable here. These are my obligations, right? So whenever we are actually calling and whenever we call foreign countries here, I have to provide them ease of doing business also. I have to provide them incentives as well, right? Then only they will come here and start their manufacturing. So PLI initiative says, okay, I'll take into consideration base here first, okay? For example, okay, that's completely okay. I'll make it for you, right? That's completely okay. All right. So when I talk about the PLI initiative here, this completely says कि PLI initiative क्या है कि मैं एक base year set कर दूंगी. For example, this 25-26 itself, right? 25-26 only. I'll set this base year, and I'll say that I'll just see you, right? I'll see your progress till maybe 27-28 for say, right? This is just an example, right? I'll see your progress till 27-28 and I'll tell them whatever progress you people will make in these years, accordingly I'll give you benefit. For example, in 25-26 they've produced 10 units, right? This is just an example here, right? 10 units. Maybe in 27-28 they have produced 20 units, right? So additionally, how much they have produced here? That is 10 units. There is addition of 10 units here, right? So incentives on these 10 units will be provided, right? And that is how, and that is what we are like. हम बोलते हैं ना कि हमें जो है वो किसी को अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए कुछ अट्रैक्टिव चीज भी रखनी पड़ेगी. So अट्रैक्टिव चीज यहाँ पे क्या है? That is incentives only, right? And this is the strategy of India itself, which is PLI initiative, right? Many a times we say कि हाँ हम जो electronics component है उसके अंदर better perform कर रहे हैं. And many a times I've told you this as well, that thanks to whom? That is PLI initiative only, right? So this is what is the exact data about it. Now this completely says why it is in news. Basically, second tranche under electronics component, second tranche under electronics component manufacturing scheme is the one, like second, you just call it second expansion itself, right? So second expansion है उसकी कितनी ज़्यादा investment है? That includes 7,172, right? And when I talk about the entire projects, basically पहले 7 projects थे, अभी जो 17 projects है वो नए approve हुए हैं, ठीक है? Total कितने हो जाते हैं? 24 हो जाते हैं. So this completely says, when I talk about this total projects approved till now, this includes 24 here. Again telling you, 17 नए approvals है, new approvals are 17 here. Previously we had 7 approvals. So this is the previous tranche, right? This is of the previous period. This is of the new period, okay? The total investment approved till now includes what? That is 12,704 crores. Total proposal that have been received includes 249. The first tranche included 7 only, and after adding 17 here, total becomes what? That is 24, okay? Investment here includes 5,532. So I hope you got a clarity here, right? Now these are the expected outcomes. Now we are actually assuming that production value will be equivalent to what? That is 65,111 crores. Direct jobs will be created from this particular aspect here. That includes 11,808, right? So this is about the state-wise distribution of the new projects also. 17 units have been opened, as in 17 factories have been opened. 5 in Karnataka, Maharashtra 3, Tamil Nadu 3, and 1 in Andhra Pradesh, 1 in Goa, 1 in Gujarat, Jammu Kashmir 1, Uttar Pradesh 1, and Madhya Pradesh also 1 unit. Okay, this is about the components here. For example, if we are making mobile phone, right? So rather than importing camera modules from outside nation, right, जहाँ पे हम इतना ज़्यादा hefty payment भी कर रहे हैं, start manufacturing in India only ना, right? So यहाँ पे जो कैमरा होगा, कैमरा मॉड्यूल्स आर द वन, कनेक्टर्स, ऑसिलेटर्स हो गए, एनक्लोजर्स हो गए, मल्टी लेयर प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड्स हो गए, वी आर एक्चुअली प्लानिंग टू प्रिपेयर हियर ओनली, ठीक है? This is what is the entire news. Sectoral use of components are going to be used in smartphones, IT hardwares, wearables हो गए, telecom हो गया, EVs हो गया, industrial electronics हो गया, defense, medical electronics, and renewable energy is also going to be part of it, right? So this is about the key in manufacturing units. I request you all to just see it by yourself also, क्योंकि already we have covered it, right? If you people remember, हमने full fledged एक पूरे तरीके से हमने जो है इसके ऊपर काम करा था, इसके ऊपर हमने, because I told you this was actually in news this month only, in the starting of this particular month. Explain section mein basically it was given, and I have given you information about it already in a very full-fledged manner. So again I'm giving you information about it because this is information about the second tranche, right? So अगर question आ भी जाता है तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि क्यों news में था, right? This is just specifically related to second tranche as in नया project, right? Okay, so there is a launch of India's first Gen IP powered silicon chip also. They can ask you in phase 1, right? They can ask you that which is and what is the name of India's first generation IP powered silicon chip. So that is ARCA GKTI, okay, TK1 basically. So this is the first generation IP platform on a chip here. The purpose is actually very clear. Anup, I think our course is already live. You can just try to link with our, Oliveboard app, like Oliveboard team itself. They'll actually, they'll actually give you better clarity on that, right? तो आप जो बैच है आप वो भी ले सकते हो, जहाँ पे आपको बुक्स वगैरह भी अवेलेबल होंगे, तो आपको कोई बुक वगैरह की भी खरीदने की नीड नहीं पड़ेगी, ठीक है? तो आप हमारी ऑलिवबोर्ड टीम के साथ एक बार कनेक्ट कर लीजिए. दे आर एक्चुअली गोइंग टू टेल you about this in a better way. I hope you understand. Okay, so this is about this particular purpose. The purpose here is actually what? That is high efficiency edge AI and smart energy applications also, right? So this is the entire news about it. This is about the application areas. I've already told you maximum part about it. Thank you, Anup. All right. Next says GI tag granted to Gujarat's Ambaji white marble. Now again telling you why GI tag is actually very important. Why GI tag is important, right? Firstly, get to know that GI tag is equivalent to what? That is geographical indication, right? It means this is an indication of that particular geography. For example, now GI tag has been given to Ambaji white marble. It means the production is exactly going to be increased, right? If अगर प्रॉपरली तरीके से अगर उनका जो मटेरियल है वो बहुत ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा, ठीक है, अगर जो इसका जो अनाउंसमेंट है वो बहुत ज़्यादा बेहतर तरीके से होगा, या फिर अगर ये बहुत ज़्यादा बेहतर तरीके से लोगों तक भी पहुंचता है कि देखो जो हमारा वाइट मार्बल है ना वो किसका फेमस है, जो अंबाजी वाइट मार्बल है वही बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस है. सो इफ़ यू वांट टू यूज़ वाइट मार्बल जस्ट गो टू अंबाजी हियर, राइट? मतलब जो अंबाजी वाइट मार्बल है वो ही एक्चुअली बहुत फेमस है, तो कोई भी शॉप अगर वो प्रोवाइड करती है सो जस्ट गो देयर ओनली, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट वी गेट टू नो, ठीक है? नाउ अगेन टेलिंग यू, अगर किसी को भी मार्बल चाहिए होगा सो ऑफ कोर्स दे विल अप्रोच इट ओनली. क्यों? बिकॉज दिस इज जीआई टैग. इट मींस जो इसका स्पेसिफिकेशन है वो इंक्रीज हो गया, द स्पेसिफिकेशन इज इंक्रीज्ड हियर. And anyone who wants to purchase marble, of course, maximum people will go for it, right? This is the significance of GI tag. This is geographical indication. Again, this is more associated with the Uttar Pradesh project also, which is one district, one product, right? One district, one product, ODOP. Now, when I talk about the Uttar Pradesh, maximum GI tag is gained by whom? That is UP itself, right? Because they are running on one policy here, that is one district, one product. Why is it so, or why they are even specifically focusing on this particular policy? Because see what happens. Maximum specification, as in if there is one individual, उसके अंदर हो सकता है कुछ ऐसा करके स्पेशलिटी है जिसके लिए वो बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस है ना? तो अगर यूपी जो है फेमस होगा, एग्जैक्टली अगर यूपी फेमस होगा किसके, दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली इन जीआई टैग से अगर यूपी फेमस होगा तो उसकी प्रोडक्शन भी बढ़ेगी, है ना? जो प्रोडक्शन है वो भी इंक्रीज होगी. हु विल बी बेनिफिटेड आउट ऑफ इट? दैट इज प्रोड्यूसर स्पेसिफिकली, राइट? एंड आई विल से स्मॉल स्केल प्रोड्यूसर, एग्जैक्टली एमएसएमई सेक्टर्स आर गोइंग टू बी हेल्प्ड हियर, राइट? उसके साथ साथ व्हाट विल हैपन, दे आर एक्चुअली गोइंग टू गेट export market also, right? Market will be enhanced more exposure to market, better profit generation will be, right? So this is exactly very important from the perspective of that particular economy, and from the perspective of one individual also. So production जितना ज़्यादा होगा, GI टैग जितना ज़्यादा मिलेगा, उतनी ज़्यादा जो स्पेसिफिकेशन है, जो ट्रस्ट है ना उस पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी के ऊपर, that will be increased, right? So grant क्या करा गया है, that is geographical indication registry. Of course it has been granted by geographical registration registry here. Ministry includes DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry here. Along with that, this says that this particular stone, that is natural stone, marble, it is actually of very high quality. That is the reason GI tag has been given to it. Recipient name क्या है, Ambaji marble, the marble here. District, this particular district, that is Banaskantha, right? District of Gujarat here. This is important. They can ask you that in which district it is actually associated. Repo rate, see what happens. UP started with one of the policy which says one district, one product, right? One district, one product may basically what has been said by the government here, a complete nod or maybe a complete kind of instruction has been given to the entire state, right? Where it says that see, every state, right, like every district, it tries to, like the government tries to tell every district that see, have a specialty in one product, right? Now the complete nod has been given to every district here that see, every district start producing your one product, right? If you people will have your specification, if every district will have its own product, right? And maybe if GI tag is being given to that particular product, right? So it means that particular state will have more GI tags and that particular state will become famous just because of the abundance of GI tags it is having, right? So more GI tags, more production, more profit. So basically it is directly linked to, or maybe you can just try to say that it is indirectly linked with the GI tag also, right? Now under one district, one product only, this is, the government is specifically focusing on the speciality of one product, right? If every district will have speciality in one product for say, right? For example, if I talk about Punjab itself, maybe Pathankot will have one specification, maybe Amritsar will have one specification, maybe Ludhiana will have one specification, maybe this Gurdaspur will have one specification, right? So maximum specifications, it means a maximum product or maybe maximum enhancement of the product will take place, right? Maximum production, maximum profit, right? And of course the maximum product specification, of course GI tags will also come here, right? So this is not about specifically relationship with the GI tag, but yes, जितना specification होगा, जितना specialization होगा, उतने GI tags जो chances है वो भी बढ़ेंगे, ठीक है? So of course it is indirectly related to that also. It is, of course specification होगा तो GI tags भी मिलेंगे and accordingly profit भी generate होगा, right? One district, one product believes in whom? That is specification in one product, okay? Alright, so when I talk about the characteristics here of the Ambaji marble, this is actually milky white in color, natural shine है, high calcium content है, strong durability है, and distinction थोड़ी सी create करी गई है किससे? That is specifically with the white marble, right, which has been quarried in the Ambaji town here, right? Along with that, this is about the composition itself. The type here, the type of rock is exactly metamorphic rock. Main mineral is calcite here, that is CaCO3, and the minor impurities are part of it, which includes clay, mica, quartz, as well as iron oxides also, right? Along, this is what is the benefit, like this is what is the specification of this Ambaji, white marble here. Along with that, this says the benefits here, right? For example, if there is a GI tag given to it, right, it means it has authenticity, right? It has, protection of authenticity has been given to it. Now, people will also get to know, okay, if you want to purchase marble, try and go, try to go, in that particular area and try to purchase this Ambaji marble, right? It has been given GI tag and of course the speciality has been given to it. It clearly means that it is actually very strong. It is actually very unique. Right, so this is what is the specification given to it. Prevention of misuse, of course, will be there. Boost in the market value will be given. Maybe it now will be having export market as well, right? So no one knows about it. जब आपके पास GI tag आ जाएगा, मतलब आपके जो आपका जो feature है वो बहुत ज़्यादा strong हो गया, हो सकता है कि आपको foreign market भी मिल जाए, ठीक है? Support for local miners and artisans will be provided here. For example, production is more, right? Just because after getting GI tags only, production has been increased, right? For example, if I give you an example of Punjab only, one fulkari is very famous, right? Now this is like a dupatta only, which is heavy dupatta, right? Fulkari has been given GI tag here. This is actually the crown of Punjab, right? And I would say Punjabi Jatti specifically. अगर मैं यहाँ पे इस पंजाब की बात करूँ या फिर अगर मैं बाकी एरियाज की भी बात करूँ ना, पीपल एक्चुअली लव टू वेयर पंजाबी जुत्तीज, पीपल एक्चुअली लव टू वेयर fulkari as well. Why? Because actually the one thing is actually it is given GI tag. Along with that, when people travel here, specifically the areas of Ludhiana, when people travel here, even if that particular individual is a foreigner या फिर किसी भी state से है ना, people actually love to wear that, right? Similar is the case with Kashmir shawls also, right? जैसे हम कश्मीरी shawls लेते हैं, that is a specification of J&K. People actually love to take Kashmiri suits. People actually love to take Kashmiri shawls also, right? They adore themselves with that. Why? Because it is actually the specification of that particular area, right? So of course everyone wants to have a collection of that particular area, right? Wants to have a collection of every specific state as well, right? So this is what is the specification given, or maybe as and when you have GI tags, the chances of approaching market becomes increased, right? So production जैसे से increase होगा, employment opportunities भी employment जो हमारी market में है वो increase होंगी, ठीक है? Exactly, Fulkari dupattas in itself are so beautiful. They're actually very heavy and they're like super beautiful to carry also, right? Alright, so this is about the GI tag here. The validity states for 10 years. Renewal is done after every 10 years. Of course, legal protection is that is given to that particular one. So if I say Fulkari for say, even if I say Ambaji marble for say, it means that is very sure. I get to know that Ambaji marble is actually of high quality. Then only GI tag has been given to it, right? So that the particular वो tag है ना, this is just not about GI tag, but जब वो quality tag है ना, उसके साथ वो लग जाता है. It means that particular marble is actually very unique in nature, right? So who is the one who doesn't want to purchase that, right? All right. Next news says that 8th India UK Army exercise, that is Ajeya Warrior, commencement has been has taken place here, right? The name of exercise is what? Again telling you, very direct question is going to be asked from this particular portion from phase 1 perspective only. There are no chances that a question is going to be asked in phase 2, right? Specifically from the perspective of RBI and NABARD. ठीक है, phase 2 में defense से questions नहीं पूछे जाते. Yes, if you're the one who's preparing for other examinations like UPSC, then there are chances, otherwise not, right? All right, the name of the exercise here is the exercise name is actually Ajeya Warrior. The edition is 8th here. When I talk about the participating armies, this is Indian Army and British Army. Okay, two armies are actually taking participation here. Location is Mahajan Field Firing Ranges, Bikaner, Rajasthan. The duration is specifically from 17th till 30th of November 2025. And the nature is actually biennial exercise here, and that too since the time period of 2011. The mandate is specifically conducted under the UN chapter this 7 of the counter-terrorism focus here, right? What are the aim here? I've already told you, whenever exercises takes place now, this is specifically to increase the cooperation between each other. This is specifically to work on the areas where they are lying, and specifically to enhance security in those areas as well, right? What are the key initiatives or activities that are part of it? This includes joint operational planning. Drone-based surveillance will be taken into consideration. Casualty evacuation drills will happen, and mission-based field exercises will happen. Simulated battle conditions will also happen, right? Now, these are the additional activities which are part of it. Basically, very general activities. Maybe sports event, maybe any play, or maybe any game that they are going to play, right? Maybe cultural exchanges also. That is a part of globalization, right? So group interaction, maybe talking about something which talking about any topic, maybe going on in economy, right? So these are the general discussions which are going to place or which are going to take in between them, right? Now this is about the participating units also. India with 120 infantry soldiers from 6th Battalion Bihar Regiment. United Kingdoms are having 2nd Battalion, the Royal Gurkha Rifles. This is important to understand. This is important to remember also. Maybe question is going to be asked from the perspective of phase 1, right? इफ नॉट, क्योंकि बेसिकली जो क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है वो इसी के रिगार्डिंग पूछा जाता है कि ये जो एक्सरसाइज है किन दो कंट्रीज के बीच में हुई है, ठीक है? विच टू कंट्रीज आर एसोसिएटेड विद इट. So generally they ask you question in relation with this also, but majorly they can ask you that they can ask you about the participating units also. So remember Bihar Regiment as in 6th Battalion Bihar Regiment, and United Kingdom के हिसाब से 2nd Battalion, the Royal Gurkha Rifles है. It is part of UK's Global Response Force also. 16 Air Assault Brigade Combat Team is part of it. Along with that, it is newly established what? That is combat aviation elements are also part of it, right? So this is about the previous edition. When I talk about the previous edition, of course, 7th was the one which took place in 2023, right? I told you previously also ना that it happens, that it takes place biennially, right? तो 2 साल में एक बार, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे जो पिछले साल मतलब जो 2023 में हुई थी, that took place in United Kingdom, Salisbury Plains was the one, right? So if you're the one who's preparing for examinations like UPSC, उसमें से हो सकता है कि आपको प्रीवियस डेटा भी पूछा जाए, बट अगर आप रेगुलेटरी एग्जाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन इसी में से ही पूछा जाएगा, ठीक है? ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट news says that South Indian Bank launches SIB HER account for women. Now remember, this is one of the initiative which has been taken by South Indian Bank, and that too specifically for whom? That is women, right? So this says the focus has been placed on women, as in the focus has been given on women. So whenever you get a question on economic, specifically when I talk about the women participation, if women empowerment here, right? If you get a question on women empowerment for say, again telling you, if you do not remember any of the initiative, you can clearly mention this as an example there, right? You can clearly mention that even South Indian Bank has recently launched one SIB HER account, and which is specifically for whom? That is women only. Again, with that, question can be asked directly in phase 1 also, right? So from both of the perspective, it is actually very important. Direct question can be asked in phase 1. Along with that, they can try to ask you from the perspective of phase 2 also. देखो, direct question तो नहीं आया, right? You people are not at all going to get direct question in the descriptive, in the descriptive part here. They are not going to ask you that, write a brief note on maybe, South Indian Bank who've launched SIB HER account for women, right? You're never going to get such questions. But you people should know how to relate with that as well, right? For example, you got one, topic here that is specifically women empowerment, right? So take one rough notebook, take your pad, like your iPad or maybe anything that you have, right? Maybe tablet, whatever you have, take that, right? Take your pen, टेक योर कॉपी, कुछ भी आपके पास टैबलेट है, कॉपी है, कुछ भी लीजिए. अब इसके अराउंड क्या करो, प्रिपेयर करो यहाँ पे हमारे की पॉइंटर्स, ठीक है? जस्ट मेक दीज लाइन्स हियर एंड ट्राई टू राइट व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू राइट हियर, राइट? When I read the topic that is women empowerment, what comes in my mind, right? Maybe anything related to budgeting, maybe anything related to survey, maybe schemes, right? Maybe any state specific initiative, right? Maybe any definition, maybe about data, right? Maybe any definition, maybe about data. So these are the things which, like, you people need to tell me the examples also, right? You people need to examine the, like, you people need to remember the examples as well, right? Along with that, you can take LFPR data also. So these are the data which actually becomes very important. You people need to make one rough framework first. What am I going to add when I see this topic, right? As in when this framework is made ready in your mind, so you can just initiate, you can just initiate towards that answer writing also, okay? So the news specifically says that South Indian Bank has launched SIB HER account. So if you're not at all able to remember any specific scheme for say, maybe any example, current example for say, you can clearly write it as an example there, right? So if you get a question on women empowerment, you can clearly write that yes, recently South Indian Bank has launched SIB HER account for women, where it includes a lot of features of it, right? The target group, they can ask you directly also, okay? That in Indian, like SIB HER account for women includes the age limit, like what is the age eligibility for this specific account for women here, right? So that is 18 years se leke 54 years tak. Again, one district, like when I talk about, the specification here, this says NRI also. It means women who are aged between 18 to 54, even if that is resident, even if that is non-resident, both women can have an access of it, right? Since we are talking about South Indian Bank, so of course the location becomes Kochi, Kerala itself, right? कोई South की location नहीं होगी, ठीक है? जो category है वो premium savings account है किसके लिए? Specifically women के लिए, ठीक है? All right. Along with that, this is eligibility as well as balance requirement also. One exception has been made on the balance requirements as well. This completely says कि eligibility age group है वो है 18 से लेकर 54 years तक. इसके अंदर residents are part of it and non-residents are also part of it, as in I'm here talking about NRIs here, ठीक है? Along with that, this talks about the minimum balance requirement as well. Although it says that 50,000 is a minimum, balance requirement, but of course it can be waived off if you do an FDI of 1 lakh, or maybe if your debit card spends, 50,000 the previous month. Of course, it can be waived off also, right? Next tells you about what that is savings as well as transaction features as well, right? Sorry. All right. So this specifically say that auto sweep facility on balance above 1 lakh has been ensured here. Along with that, unlimited ATM withdrawals hai, free NEFT, RTGC and IMPS services will be provided. Free checkbooks will be provided to women here. Free demand drafts will also be provided here, right? So no extra expenditure on that. Along with that, family and locker benefits have also been provided. So up to 3 free family add-on savings account can be opened, and 50% of waiver on locker rent has been also ensured here. Okay. Now this is about the insurance benefits. If there is any women who open an account here, the one say that we are going to provide you free air accident insurance that is equivalent to 1 crore. Personal accident insurance will be provided to you people equivalent to 1 lakh. Discount cancer care insurance is also to be provided that includes up to 25 lakh, right? Now there is a reduction in the premium on women specific term insurance also, that is life, that includes life cover of what 2 crore and above, right? Accordingly जो हमारा जो premium है उसके अंदर भी आपको reduction मिलेगी. So these are the many features and I would say super duper features which have been provided here, right? What is the loan benefit? So concessions will be given on those loans specifically related to home loan for say vehicle loan, business loan, right? So if you are a woman who's taking home loan, vehicle loan, maybe business loan, concessions will be provided to you people, right? Processing waiver, like fee waiver kya hai, that is up to 50% itself, and it completely says that this is specifically one initiative which has been taken to empower my women. Now again, before we initiate with the question, tell me, do you people have any doubt till now? Do you people have any doubt till now? I hope you got a clarity here. How to do and what to do. Okay, all right. Now we are coming up with a question. The first question says, which institution released the GDP growth projection for Q2 financial year 26 in November? Is it okay, Reserve Bank of India? Is it Ministry of Finance, State Bank of India, Economic Research Department, Niti Aayog, or National Statistical Office? Is that yesterday's? Okay. Okay, leave. This is not what I've added here, right? I think I forgot to add one news which is specifically related to State Bank. Okay, its correct answer is C. I forgot to take one news here. I've made one question on it, but I forgot to take that, right? Basically, what has happened recently, State Bank of India has, given the forecast of India's GDP rate. So I'll include it tomorrow, right? So I had to take this particular news also, but I think I forgot to take basically one projection. GDP forecasting is part of it, so it has been given by State Bank of India. Basically the news is in relationship with whom, that is forecasting itself, as in जो हमारा growth forecasting है, जो हमारा GDP forecast है उसके related है, ठीक है? So I'll take into consideration this news tomorrow, ठीक है? हम इस news को कल करेंगे. I think I've made one question here. Shivam, I made one question here, but I forgot to take, I forgot to compile this news here, right? I've compiled 5 news only. Otherwise, I had to compile 6 news. So I have missed out one news here. Otherwise, question has been made, but I forgot to compile one news here. All right. So this is something which we'll do tomorrow. Okay. Basically, what is the news here? Basically, जो हमारा SBI Economic Research Department है, उन्होंने growth projection जो है वो India की दी है. And I had to tell you that this is entirely important from phase 1 perspective only, but I forgot to take it. We'll take it tomorrow, right? Again, this question is again on that SBI report only. All right. So basically, this is the report here, right? So newly जो projected real GDP है, जो real GDP growth है India की specifically for Q2 of financial year 26 year is specifically 7.5%, right? This is the entire news. So again, telling you direct question can be asked on it, right? So if you get a question, which institute is the one which has released GDP growth projection for Q2 financial year 26, so people need to answer it as what? That is State Bank of India Economic Research Department. Basically अभी जो है वो एक जो report है वो analyze करी गई है और क्या projection दिया गया है, that is just equivalent to 7.5%. Now SBI Research EcoRap report completely says दैट कि जो इंडिया का जो Q2 फाइनेंशियल ईयर 26 है ना, उसमें जो इनका रेट है, मतलब जो रियल जीडीपी है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी इंक्रीज, राइट, इज इक्विवेलेंट टू 7.5% है, right? Again, it says that which state has recorded the highest inflation here. So this is just Kerala, right? This is also in relationship with that report only. So I think this is a huge mistake that I've made here. I forgot to take that particular news. Otherwise, these all of the questions are related with that only. So I ensure that I'll take into consideration that report again, and I'll just try to change the questions here as well. ठीक है, तो 3 क्वेश्चन लिया, मेरे को थोड़े से हटके क्वेश्चंस भी बनाने पड़ेंगे. So I have to take those questions, and of course that news is important, right? That news is important entirely from the perspective of phase 1, right? So we'll do it tomorrow. Alright, thank you so much. I don't know how it happened, but I think I forgot to take those questions. Alright. Okay, so we'll do it tomorrow. Take it. Alright, so thank you so much for joining the session, and the first news that I'll take tomorrow is specifically on this particular report only, and I'll try to change questions also so that you better understand it. Take care. Alright. Alright, thank you so much. Okay. Alright, so I'm ending the session here only. If you people have no doubts left here, I'm ending the session here only, and now we'll meet tomorrow. Take care. Okay, thank you so much for attending the session. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.